concerns and just use the same ones over and over and over again. This will do a couple things. One, your delivery will be a lot stronger because the more that you repeat these power phrases, the more confidence you'll gain in delivering them, but also the better you'll sound with the customer. So not only is it important to practice delivering these power phrases within the body of the script, but it's also important to use the same ones over and over again. Remember, the customers don't know what you said to the last customer or what you're going to say to the next customer. They're only concerned with their situation. So if you become adept at utilizing certain power phrases and they work for you, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just continue to use those power phrases to handle the objection and get back to script. The best setup for yourself is to be on script originally. Because if you're not on script and you try to handle the objections with power phrases, you have nowhere to go back to. You really want to utilize the script to position yourself to handle those objections at the right time, get right back to script and ask for the appointment. So for the primary concerns, first off, we'll talk about price because ultimately price becomes probably the most identified objection that customers have. You know, why do customers always ask about price? Well, typically it's because they don't have anything else to ask about. And you know, the pricing is usually online. You can find it if you look hard enough, but they are shopping for a deal. So that's why they're asking for price. So for instance, with a couple of these power phrases, the price is too high. The price is the easiest part of my job. Now, as you're probably aware, that price comes from my manager. He's making the best deals with people that are here right now. When are you more available to come in and meet with him, now or later today? So again, you know, we handled the objection. We gave them the reason and benefit for meeting with the manager, and then we went right back to asking for that customer to come into the dealership. The sales price on those vehicles starts as low as $20,000 and go up from there based on features and options. We should definitely be able to save you some money during our big sale promotion. What time works best for you to come in and find your vehicle, now or later today? So again, within these power phrases, we can also insert sense of urgency by asking the customer if they can come in now. You know, most of the customers that call inbound or that have sent in email inquiries, their plan of attack was never to visit the dealership. So you actually have the element of surprise on your side when dealing with these customers. And also, you know, as I started to say before, you know, if the customer is not shopping apples to apples, so if they've gained information and they're trying to take that information on a vehicle at another dealership and compare it to one of your vehicles and they're not the same, it's really important for you to identify that. And many times, you know, the price, it could just be more than they wanted to spend. So if you're calling unsold traffic and you're trying to bring customers back into the showroom, guys, again, start with vehicle selection. If you're asking the question early, hey, while you were here yesterday, did you identify a vehicle you'd like to own? If the customer says no, you know, we've got to kind of put it in neutral and even reverse a little bit and go back and re-qualify that customer as to what they're looking for based on their needs. And then, you know, the last thing with price is it could be that customers just trying to see if you'll negotiate. So customers play their little games and they try and reel you in a little bit. They know and they have a price in their head of what they're willing to pay. As we all know, the more customers we deal with, you know, many times they have questions about payment, like they're payment shoppers. They're not even concerned with the total price of the vehicle. They just want to know what their monthly payment's going to be and whether it's going to fit into their monthly bills and monthly budget. So, you know, if they're a payment shopper or if they are a price shopper and they're not so much concerned with the actual payment, and then other customers, many want no money down. Well, you know, in circumstances, you are able to provide them with that. But if that option typically comes with a higher payment. So there has to be some education that goes on with this customer interaction so that they understand the reason and benefit behind the showroom visit, but also the breakdown on, your process at your dealership for purchasing vehicles. Payment. There are many factors that go into determining the monthly payment. So the most important one being the vehicle you select, your credit information, which is between you and my manager. During the big sale promotion, we've been very successful in helping people get into vehicles at a payment within their budget. Is that what you're hoping to accomplish today? When are you more available to come in and look at all of the inventory? A little later this afternoon, or does this evening work best? So, you connected again back to asking for the appointment, but even within that power phrase, we were introducing kind of a sense of urgency. Is that what you were hoping to accomplish today? Just by adding that one word, it provides that sense of urgency that many times we are trying to accomplish. So with payment, I connect payment many times with the lease customer. So those customers that call in, hey, can you give me the best lease you have on a specific vehicle? I always want to separate kind of that initial activity with what happens in the showroom. So, this first power phrase, talking about the credit score, hey, Mr. Jones, that involves your credit score, and that's none of my business. That's between you and my finance manager. The best thing for you to do is set up a time that works best for you to come in and meet directly with our manager. That way you know what you qualify for, and then once you identify the best vehicle for your needs, we're able to get you the best payment and also make sure that any incentives and rebates that you qualify for are connected to your deal. That makes sense, doesn't it? When are you more available to come in? Now or a little later this afternoon? So again, we're trying to plant some seeds in the customer's mind while handling the objection. So my objection handling skills are a little bit extended, and I'll stack power phrases. I'll use several within a conversation to try and reinforce and help the customer understand more than anything that the process really starts at the showroom. It doesn't make sense to give customers numbers if it's not pertaining to the actual vehicle that they're going to buy. So most of our customers, unfortunately, they've been conditioned to put the cart before the horse. So it's our job to get them realigned. Call yourself the BDC chiropractor. You're realigning the customer's mindset so they understand what has to happen first. First thing they need to do is they need to come in and meet with a manager. Find out what they qualify for and understand what the best vehicle for their needs is. We partner with 30+ lenders to get the most competitive rates. With the big sale promotion, we have rates starting as low as X%. Depends on the vehicle you choose and your credit information, which is between you and my manager. When are you more available to come in and lock in that low rate? Can you come in right now or a little later this afternoon? So again, letting the customer know and planting the seeds that we're not just that one bank or one lender dealership. We work with several different lenders. That plants the seed in the customer's head that they have more of an opportunity to get approved because we are going to make sure that we leave no rock unturned to find the best rate available for that customer. So again, there's a bit of advocacy involved here. It's us showing the customer that we are on their side and we want to help them accomplish their goals. So letting them know that you work with 30+ lenders, letting them know where the rate might start. It can work, and it's a good seed to plant, but you also have to understand, and your management staff and salespeople need to understand that the majority of these customers, they hear what they want to hear, and they'll take what you've said, and then they kind of mold it into something that sounds good for them or that works on their behalf. So just be aware of that. As long as your people are on script and they're using the power phrases and you're confident that you know what they're saying and they're not making promises that turn out basically to be a lie to the customer, that's where the scripting is a great management tool to keep your employees in line. Down payment or credit. Again, we work with 30+ lenders to get you the best programs and have programs available that require little or no money down. Is that what you are hoping to accomplish? A second one, as a part of the big sale promotion, we have special lenders available, helping people get into vehicles with little or no money down with a payment that to fit their budget. Is that what you were hoping to accomplish? So many of the dealers that we support, they'll have, certain events with credit unions or lending institutions. And so that second power phrase there, that's a good one to use in conjunction with one of those sales. But again, you're planting seeds, you're reintroducing big sale and promotion. This may have been the second or third time that the customer heard that terminology. So you're letting them know that there's a big sale and promotion. And again, the more times that you let them know that they're going to have the opportunity to meet with a manager early, that's huge in the mind of the customer. They appreciate that. Chances are that no other dealer that they've called has said that. So that's going to help differentiate you from your competition, and that might be part of your value proposition. So trade value. So every customer thinks, especially if their vehicle's paid off, that their trade is worth more than it actually is. They don't understand depreciation. They don't realize that as soon as they drive their vehicle off the lot, that it does depreciate. So in many terms, we've got to educate that customer a little bit. So the first power phrase, my pre-owned manager is always looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. We'd much rather buy from you than the auction and are able to offer above market value on many vehicles. When was the last time you had the vehicle professionally appraised? When are you more available to bring your vehicle in for that appraisal, now or later today? So you just have to be careful with leveraging the trade and trying to paint a picture that vehicle, depending on what the vehicle is, before you start to handle objections on trade value, you got to find out what the year of the vehicle is, and if the vehicle is a vehicle that is one that your dealership is looking for. For instance, how many times do you hear customers asking for the $20,000 pickup truck? That's something that every single dealer that I go to, I hear that comment. Just shopping for a $20,000 pickup truck. Well, where are those pickup trucks? They're in your database. The $20,000 pickup truck, it's customers that have purchased from you in the last 3, 4, or 5 years. So understand that, you can leverage many times an appointment with, hey, we're really interested in your vehicle. So sometimes you have to get a little bit granular with customers. So if they don't understand the trade process and they don't understand why we can't give them an actual number, sometimes you got to get in depth a little bit with the customer. But be careful. Anytime you're getting a little too specific, that's probably a problem. So the second power phrase here for trade, what we found is if we give a trade value over the phone and it is too high, you come in and feel misled. If we choose to be conservative, then you might not give us the chance to work with you. Most customers agree it's impossible for us to offer you an accurate value for our vehicle without seeing or driving it. When are you more available for my manager to appraise your vehicle and give you a trade value, now or later today? So this thing makes sense, this second power phrase. And sometimes you've got to jolt the customer a little bit to understand why it is that we can't just throw out a number. And we have these instances all the time. The customers, they're trying to shortcut. They're trying to save themselves time and money, but they're doing it in the wrong way. They realize that, if they can get the best valuable possible, that's what they're going to try and leverage. But to get it over the phone, it doesn't do anybody good to be dropping trade values over the phone. So selection. Again, in my mind, selection is the most important concern. Because if you're not on the right vehicle and the customer leaves without purchase and you don't know that you weren't on the right vehicle, that's where we got to start. We've got to understand if we were playing in the right time zone, basically. With the big sale promotion, we're having a hard time keeping our website up to date. And with all of the cars coming and going, not everything that's available is online, and not everything that's online is still available. That's why I check with my manager, because he knows all of our inventory. when are you more available to come in and find your vehicle, now or later today? So selection, it has different pieces, right? So this part of selection is we are trying to paint the picture for the customer that we have great availability. And even if they don't see something online, that's not what they should judge our inventory by. Your online inventory is the fifth window to your dealership. But if it's not kept up to date, if it's not showing pictures, many times that's going to dissuade the customer from visiting your actual store. That because they are judging everything by what the internet or website is telling them. So for that particular customer, this is a great way to open them up and have them understand that the vehicle you're looking for could quite possibly be here. It's just not on the website yet. Other things with selection, if you want to paint a vivid picture for the customer that your inventory is vast, you can always tell them, hey, with the big sale promotion going on, we've had 3 to 4 truckloads of inventory come in this week. So 3 to 4 truckloads, 8 to 10 vehicles on a truck, that's promoting great availability. That's painting a picture for the customer that your place is the best place to shop because you have that great availability. And remember, when talking about availability has many meanings. Availability means that the vehicle's on your lot. It means that it might be en route. It means that you have access to it, either through an auction or through a dealer trade. Obviously, we want to position the vehicles that are on our lot first. Those are the ones that we want to be able to sell. We don't want to have to go out to other dealers to try and do trades. We don't have to. So, selection is a big part of objection handling. So important to understand, ask the right questions with your customers when it involves selection. So now on to the pattern interrupt. Pattern interrupt is asking a relevant question in the process of answering the customer's question, thereby altering their thought process. Using the pattern interrupt allows us to direct the conversation. So the pattern interrupt is crucial. It's vital because if we're going to take control of conversation, the way we open the door is with the pattern interrupt. The pattern interrupt is our first question. So, in the inbound script for Proactive Dealer Solutions, I'd be happy to help you with that information. By the way, calling about our big sale and promotion. That's the first pattern interrupt. That helps us gain control of the conversation. And throughout that conversation, we are asking more questions. We are asking qualifying questions. Cloth or leather, light or dark exterior color, new or pre-owned. These are all questions that help us regain and retain control of the conversation. The next pattern interrupt in the inbound script is, it sounds to me like you're not in any rush to make a buying decision today, are you? Or you're not ready to buy today, are you? That is another pattern interrupt that helps us retain control of that conversation. Because we know the majority of those customers out there, they're going to answer with, nope, just started my search. And if they don't, if they say, no, I'm willing to buy today if you have what I'm looking for, all that is a buying signal. You need to continue on with your script and your conversation to position yourself to be able to ask for a solid appointment for the customer to visit the showroom and meet with a manager. Some examples of pattern interrupts. Where are you calling about the big sale promotion? You don't have to buy it today, do you? Did you find a vehicle you'd like to own? Are you adding or trading a vehicle? Will you be paying cash for taking advantage of our low rate financing? So again, all very general, non-specific questions that allow us really for nothing less just to take control of the conversation and to retain control throughout that conversation with the customer. So the power phrases that we've been talking about, key phrases that allow you to direct or influence the behavior of others. And I'm constantly sprinkling our power phrases with, big sale promotion, opportunity to meet with the manager, great availability. Even in the inbound script for specific vehicles, I will use part of that script as a power phrase. If I have a customer that is calling in and they're interested in, that 2012 Wrangler that's on your lot. Or if I'm in a conversation with them doing an unsold traffic call and they identify another vehicle of interest, I may ask them, hey, while I'm checking on that vehicle, would you also be interested in similar vehicles if the price was right and the miles are low? Or if the miles are right and I can save you some money? Just by asking that question, that allows us to open up the customer to see if they're just kind of looking at that model or are they specifically looking at the stock number. So that's how we determine whether they're specific or general. But when we're calling out on unsold traffic and we identify they're on different vehicles, we've got to utilize power phrases to be able to reel that customer back in and set aside an appointment for them to revisit the dealership. So using power phrases or pattern interrupts and connecting back with the script. The big sale promotion, we are discounting many vehicles on top of their already low prices. Does that sound like something you'd like to take advantage of? We are the #1 dealer in the area and typically never lose deals over price. When are you more available to come in, now or later today? Your presence in the dealership is the leverage you need to get the best price. That doesn't sound so bad, does it? When are you available to come in? A little later this afternoon or this evening. A manager is giving the best deals to customers that are in the dealership. Is that what you were hoping to accomplish? So again, a lot of agriculture going on here, a lot of seeds being planted for that customer so that they understand what the reason and benefit is behind the customer visiting the showroom. That's where it all happens. That road to the sale will help sell more cars. Okay, so understanding your unique selling proposition. 10 reasons to buy your product, 10 reasons to buy from your dealership, 10 reasons to buy from you, and 10 reasons to buy now. So again, with the 10 reasons for each category, product, dealership, you, now. This is a great exercise to connect BDC with the sales floor. Even bring in your front office, bring in accounting, bring in folks that have worked in the dealership for a long time. This is a 15-minute exercise that builds synergy within the group, and it also sheds light on reasons and benefits for your customers to visit your showroom. So 10 reasons to buy your product. Your product's safe. Your product is high performing. Your product is award winning. So all these things, think about what's important to the customer when they're asking these questions or shopping for vehicles. 10 reasons to buy from your dealership. This is where you really are able to separate your dealership from your competition. So 10 reasons to buy from your dealership. It might be extended hours. It might be extended service hours. It might be pick up and delivery for service. It might be, certain sales events that you have going on. For example, big sale and promotion. That's a reason for them to visit your dealership. Warranties, so powertrain warranties, things that, I've heard tires for life out there. Like just things that separate or differentiate in your customer's mind what makes you different from your competition. 10 reasons to buy from you, your knowledge base, your follow-up after the sale. You are their resource. You are their car guy or car girl. So somebody they can depend on, somebody they can trust, and somebody that they can relate to. Reasons to buy now, don't just think about this time of year. Think about the end of the year, tax incentives, tax season. Again, incentives and rebates expiring. Certain models expiring. If they still want to get that vehicle, it's going away. Here's your sense of urgency. So that's just some ideas to kickstart you with your different 410s. But do this exercise a couple times a year, quarterly or twice a year. It's good when you have turnover, if you have new people coming into the store. Also, if you grow and you have additions to your store, it's a great opportunity for you to recap. All right, so speaking of recap, let me just kind of recap here keys to success. Embrace that objection as a positive. Look at the motive beyond the objection. Identify, isolate, and overcome the objection to motivate the customer to visit. Every single time the customer objects on price, you default to the dealership. That's the great thing about being an agent or being a BDR. It's being able to default to the dealership. That allows you to promote and give reason and benefit as to why the customer should visit that dealership. And it's just repetition. You're repeating a lot of the things that you may have said initially, but you're saying it in a different way. Best price comes from manager. The prices with those vehicles, they start at X amount and go up from there, depending on how well equipped you want the vehicle. So you're putting the emphasis back on the customer. They're going to choose which vehicle they want, and they're going to ultimately choose the deal that they get. So, embrace every objection as a positive. Look at the motive beyond the objection. Why are they objecting? What are they looking to accomplish? What's important to them? And identify, isolate, overcome that objection, and motivate the customer to visit. Get right back to script and offer that customer opportunities to come back in, or to come in initially. So that concludes this section of objection handling. We did have a couple questions that came in that I'll answer at this time. We're looking to acknowledge, redirect, and move on. And our ultimate goal is a specific time and date for the customer to come in and meet with the manager. So all these things considered, some of the questions that have come in, if you have any questions, you can chat them at this point in time. I'll open things up for discussion. So one question was, how do I get my staff better at handling objections? So the answer to that is practice. Role play, rehearse, practice objection handling, use the power phrase objection handling beach ball, get the objections on that beach ball, pass it around, get everybody standing up, everybody kind of having a shot at answering these objections with a power phrase that's appropriate. If you go through this activity twice a day for 30 days, your staff is automatically going to be well prepared, but also have a lot more confidence when handling these objections. So, practice makes perfect. Another question came in, what do we do for that customer that they just won't come in without the out-the-door price? Well, the first step is a live TO. So hopefully you have a BDM in the room where they can pick up the phone seamlessly, reinforce what you've said, and believe it or not, that second voice works. And if you've been to our boot camp, you've seen it live, you understand the importance of that second voice. That's why it's important for the BDM to be in the room, to take that phone over quick, to try and reinforce the reason and benefit for the customer to come into the showroom now. Live COs will make a difference. They'll add to your appointment volume, and it's great for BDRs and agents to hear the BDM on the phone utilizing the word tracks and phrases. But the setup for that live CO is being on script first. You can't expect the manager to come in and save the day if you're off script initially. You've got to stay on script to the best of your ability, funnel those objections to a point in the conversation where you can handle them with the appropriate power phrase. And then if the customer pushes back after 2 or 3 attempts, get a live voice on the phone. If, you're going to have, we mentioned the 80-20 rule, we talked about the 80% who ultimately come in and buy something different, but what about that 20%? The customers that know exactly what they want when they call in. Maybe your fleet and commercial customers who've been buying regular cab, 2-wheel drive, white pickup trucks forever, and they are not going to stick around for the script. They need to get to your fleet commercial manager or truck manager so they can be taken care of quickly. Possibly high performance vehicles in the Chrysler lineup, the SRT vehicles, the Z06 or Corvette customers, Mustang customers, your high performance vehicles. Many times those customers need to have some questions answered, and they're looking typically for that specific vehicle. So you want to be able to take care of them and get them where they need to be quickly. Okay, so as I said, that concludes today's session. I'm going to actually give you another name. If you could contact Ashley Ellis at dcexperts.com. And you can also call 1-888-408-6480 if you have questions and would like to receive a copy of the presentation. Also, make sure you check out our website, dcexperts.com. The basic phone skills training webinars that are continuing throughout 2018, and we will be adding to these webinars as well, focusing on different things and topics throughout 2018. So, again, my name is Tim Horning, Training Manager for Proactive Dealer Solutions. Remember, training happens every single day. Be consistent. Provide your agents with leadership, but also train and develop them so they can have more confidence, set more appointments, so your dealership can sell more cars. Thanks again. Have a great afternoon, and look forward to working with you.